And we're live. Hi, everyone. I'm here with lovely Pavla. So what we're going to do in the next few weeks for all of you, for our Bliss family, is that we're going to introduce as much as I can. A lot of the presenters are not around in Toronto, so we're trying to do Zoom or use one of the other software to have you meet our presenters in the next few weeks. So Bliss is coming up, our Camp Kawartha weekend on October 20th to the 22nd. That's near Peterborough. We are ending our early bird special in the next few days. So go to our website and check out what we have to offer in the fall. And so one of our amazing presenters, she's the first time she's coming to Bliss, and I'm very, very excited. I've known Pavla now for a couple years, right?
Yeah.
And she is amazing, and just her energy and her vibes, and I just really like hanging out with her. So I thought I would just bring her over on a short video. We try to keep it short. Get to talk for a while. And I just wanted you to say hello and introduce yourself to our Bliss family and tell us what you're all about.
Hi Bliss family. I'm Pavla Uppal, and I'm really excited to be included in the Bliss family. So looking forward to engaging with all of you. I will bring interactive story sharing as a workshop, something I want to share with you. And it is story sharing. It's not a storytelling per se, because we will be really engaging our whole selves. So certainly including our body, mind, emotions, and all that in sharing our stories with each other. And that is something that I'm very strongly committed, that we might be strong women, we might be working on our own for a long time, and but I think that the community is something that we really need to engage in, and that's why you are coming to Bliss, because there is that almost like a quantum leap when there's a development happening, and then you come to a supportive community. All of a sudden, things are happening much smoother, and they're magnified, and that's why we're working in groups.
So why is it important to share our story? Like, take us back and tell us what happens in sort of like everyone will have a different experience, but in general, what happens when we share our story?
Okay, so I think a lot of things happen when we share our story. Through my my practice experience with working with people from all walks of life, what I'm always getting is the healing and therapeutic nature of the moments when we are able to share and truly share our story in non-judgmental environment, where nobody's going to try to talk us out of it or into something else, or where it's just a space where the story can be acknowledged by those who are present in the room. And so you're asking what will happen. So what happens is that we also have the moment to reflect and to really look at it also perhaps from almost like from outside. We have shared something, here it is, and then we're able to look at it from a very different perspective. And in my workshop, perhaps there's a little extra twist to it, because we work with the stories in embodied way. So it's an art form using our bodies to create the images, the stories, and put them in image. So it's almost like they're frozen in time and space in front of you, so you can really look at what's happening and have that reflective moment of starting to understand the dynamic of the interpersonal relationships from different perspective that in everyday life we can't really access.
And that different perspective is because you are opening up and allowing other people to sort of give a feedback and to help you sort of say that story. Like, what are the other people doing when you're just when you're opening up and telling your story?
Thank you. Very good point about feedback, because feedback is always sort of solicited from the teller, from someone who's sharing. It's absolutely their discretion whether they want comments or feedback. or not, because that is also an area where sometimes we're ready to hear feedback, sometimes we're not. So we have to be very careful around that piece. But so what happens, the others really are there to be the container, to serve the story. And because we work in groups, so we will take turns. So now I'm the storyteller, and you're going to be in my story helping me to understand it, and then we're going to switch. So then you are the storyteller, I will be serving and helping you to see it in a different light. So that's how it works. That's
and when you say artistic, a lot of people, not just women, but when if you're not, you feel you don't have the creative side, or you don't have artistic side, and then I don't want to go to that workshop because I'm going to be made to do things that I'm not comfortable with. Can you ease a little bit the sort of that feeling of like, oh my God, I'm going to be put on a spotlight? Like how do you make someone feel comfortable that it's not about being artsy or creative, it's just being you?
All right. So yeah, thank you for this question, because it is super important. And I want to see that. First thing I wanted to say is that everybody's creative, because creativity is a very broad thing that we can really look at. Depends on the perspective. What do we consider creative? But I do really maintain that every single human being is creative in some way. And artistic, just meaning, so people are sometimes afraid of it. But here we're again back to the something that you were posting, that I consider sometimes my work radical communication, and that radical just means that we're going back into our body. So it's a holistic thing. So body language and expressing things through our body is a very innate thing to human beings. It's just sometimes that we get disconnected. So I like to bring the awareness to it. So it's nothing, nobody is expecting a performance. There won't be any audience. We will be working with each other. And also the beauty of this is that the story sharing is certainly optional. If you do not want to share your story, that is okay, because you will get benefit and you will be part of the whole process, because you're going to be watching other people's story. And here is the universality of stories and our human community, where we come together and we share, because even though it's not my story, because we're working on it on a more universal level, everybody can relate. Everybody can see piece of their own self in that story of others, and that's where we get the connections and where we can really work together on it.
Yeah, and this actually embodies what we try to do at Bliss. Having that platform from the moment you arrive until the end of the weekend, that you don't have to talk, you don't have to share, but the fact that that you're there and you're not alone, that there's someone perhaps with a little tweak having a very similar story, allows you to grow, allows you to be to allow yourself to be part of a community that's going to support you and hold your hand whatever you're going through. And going back to what you were saying about sharing your story, to actually saying it out loud, it happens quite often to me when I have an idea or have an issue, and I just say it out loud. Like I have it in my head and I go over and I can't sleep, and I it's like I'm going through this like turmoil in my inside, and then I just like happen to talk to a friend or to my husband, and I say it out loud, and then I'm like, oh, hey, I just come up with my own answer.
All right,
like I don't need therapy. I don't need it, because it's so incredible. And even writing, when you write it down, like the journals that we recommend to do in the mornings or before going to bed, it makes a big difference when you see it, when you hear it. So so this is why we're very excited to have Pavla with us. And just before we go, I don't know if there's anyone that has any questions. You guys can load it down in the comments. But so how did you get into this? Like, how was how were you interested in something like this, and what's sort of your story?
This could be a very long answer, but I'm not going to go all the way back. But just to say that my background is in theater, and I started as an actress, theater director, and then now I work in applied theater, which is a field where we use bits and elements, strategies, and methodology from theater, from the dramatic world in non-artistic communities with people of all walks of life. And then so because I have always felt throughout my whole, even as I was an actress on a very traditional stage, I always felt like theater is life. I don't know why are we making any separations, because we're sitting here now, so that's almost like a situation we can dissect it. We like how far we're from each other, how close, how much we like each other. That can, if somebody is looking at us, they will probably discern all these communications. So again, like things like that are very naturally coming to everybody. All human beings can read body language and all those kind of things. So I'm always like, I just love that. And I also wanted to just say something that you were saying, that once you share the story, you come to your own answer. And this is something that I am also wanted to say, that I'm not here as a motivational speaker to tell you what to do, but I am here to ask questions and sort of create that environment where you will be able to find what's going on for you, and you will start perhaps having that moment of the shift in understanding, where we get like, oh yeah, and this needs to change in order for me to sort of start aligning my vision with my practice, or my life with my vision. So it will be yours because it's your story. Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Gabby. This is wonderful, and I'm really looking forward to.
Yes, so a couple more weeks, actually. Almost 2 months. It just seems like my summer is over. I was telling Pavla, I'm back to work.
No, I want to hold on to it.
So this is why we decided to do it outside here in my backyard. And so thank you for joining, and thank you for watching. If you have any questions later on, we'll be online, and hopefully I can bring you another presenter soon, and you can join us in this at least for now in an online community, and see you at the end of October. Thank you. Bye.